All right, get ready, because today we're going deep into ancient mysteries.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking prophecy and visions,
Visions?
and maybe even a glimpse into what might be the time of the end.
Uh-huh.
All this from Daniel chapter 8.
That's a good one.
It's one of those texts that has fascinated people for centuries.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to admit, even I get chills when I think about it.
It's amazing how these ancient texts still resonate with us today.
Oh, yeah.
It speaks to the enduring power of these stories.
Yeah.
The way they tap into something deep within us.
I mean, who doesn't love a good mystery?
Right.
Especially one that might hold clues about the future.
Absolutely. And Daniel 8 definitely delivers on that front.
So let's set the scene.
Okay.
Daniel finds himself in Susa,
In ancient Elam.
near a canal.
Right.
But it's not just any random location, though, is it?
No, Susa was a major city back then.
Oh, really?
A strategic city known for its palaces and power.
Huh.
Even the fact that Daniel is near a canal is interesting. Water often symbolizes knowledge or revelation in these kinds of texts.
So the setting is already loaded with symbolism.
Yes.
And then, boom, a ram with two horns appear.
Ram.
But there's a twist.
Okay.
One horn grows longer after the other.
Interesting.
Which seems pretty significant, right?
Definitely. The ram is generally understood to represent the Medo-Persian Empire,
Oh, okay.
and the two horns growing at different times.
Yeah.
That reflects how the Persian influence grew over time,
I see.
eventually eclipsing the Medes.
So it's not just about the empire's power,
Right.
but also about internal shifts within it.
Uh-huh.
Clever.
Yeah.
And then this ram goes on a rampage.
Charging in three directions.
Oh, no, dominating.
Is a common theme in these visions.
Oh, really?
They often use animal imagery
Yeah.
to convey that raw power,
Okay.
conquest, the kind of dominance that reshapes the political landscape.
But in this case, there's another twist.
Oh, there's always a twist.
A male goat appears.
Yes.
And it's moving so fast, it's practically flying.
The imagery is definitely striking.
Right.
And it's meant to be.
Okay.
This goat represents the Greek Empire,
Okay.
led by a king, symbolized by the prominent horn between its eyes.
So who are we talking about here?
Most scholars see this as pointing to Alexander the Great,
Alexander the Great.
the one and only
Known for lightning-fast conquests.
military genius.
It all lines up perfectly.
It does.
Especially since the goat comes from the west.
Just like Alexander's empire.
It's spanning eastward from Greece.
Exactly. And then we get the clash of the titans.
Ooh. I like it.
The goat, in a fit of rage, shatters the ram's horns and tramples it.
No contest.
No contest, a decisive victory for the Greeks.
Brutal. So the ram, which seemed so mighty,
Yes.
gets taken down pretty swiftly.
Pretty swiftly.
But then the goat's large horn, the one symbolizing Alexander,
Uh-huh.
breaks off.
It does.
Didn't Alexander die quite young?
He did. And after his death, his vast empire fractured,
Oh, no.
divided among his generals. This is symbolized by the 4 smaller horns that replace the big one on the goat.
Ah, so those horns represent the 4 kingdoms.
The 4 kingdoms that arose from Alexander's divided empire.
The Seleucid, Ptolemaic, Antigonid, and Pergamon kingdoms.
You got it.
But if each horn represents a kingdom,
Yes.
wouldn't that contradict the 2 horns on the ram representing 2 parts of the same empire?
That's a great question.
Is there a reason for that difference?
It highlights the symbolic nature of these visions.
Okay.
Sometimes a single animal represents a single empire,
Uh-huh.
while other times different parts of the animal represent different factions or phases within the empire.
I see.
It all depends on the specific message being conveyed.
So we can't always take the symbolism literally.
Right.
We have to look at the bigger picture.
The bigger picture.
So we've got the rise and fall of the Medo-Persian Empire,
Uh-huh.
the rise and fragmentation of the Greek Empire,
Yes.
all packed into this one vision.
And it's just the beginning.
All
The
right.
vision zooms in on one of those smaller horns,
Okay.
and that's where things get really interesting.
All right, now I'm on the edge of my seat.
Clear.
Tell me more. What happens with this little horn?
Well, it starts small,
Uh-huh.
but then it grows exceedingly great,
Okay.
spreading its influence in 3 directions.
Which are?
South, east, and towards a place called the Beautiful Land.
Hold on. The Beautiful Land.
Yes.
That sounds significant.
It is.
How so?
The Beautiful Land is often used in the Bible to refer to the land of Israel.
Okay.
So this little horn isn't just expanding,
Right.
it's encroaching on a land sacred to the Jewish people.
I see.
And not only that, it grows so powerful it starts messing with the army of heaven,
Whoa.
even casting down stars and trampling them.
We're talking cosmic level arrogance here.
We are.
Why is it significant that the little horn is messing with heaven?
This is where the vision goes beyond earthly politics and into the spiritual realm.
Okay.
The army of heaven and the stars represent divine beings and heavenly powers. This little horn isn't content with earthly dominance.
So it's like it's trying to become a god itself.
That's one way to put it.
Okay.
And it gets even more intense.
Oh, no.
The vision describes this horn's actions against the prince of the host,
Okay.
possibly an angel or even a messianic figure.
Uh-huh.
It stalks the daily sacrifice and throws down the sanctuary.
So it's not just about military conquest.
No.
It's about spiritual suppression.
Yes.
Okay, this little horn is shaping up to be a serious force.
Serious force.
Disrupting both the physical and spiritual realms.
It is.
What happens to it? Does this reign of terror ever end?
That's the story for part 2.
Oh man, you're gonna leave me hanging like that.
We'll explore the little horn's fate and how Daniel comes to understand this mind-blowing vision.
All right, looking forward to it. Okay, so last time we were left with this little horn causing chaos.
Yeah, a lot of chaos.
Even challenging the heavens.
Right. It was a wild vision.
So where do we go from here?
Well, before we get to the horn's ultimate fate, there's this interesting detail where Daniel overhears this conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, between two holy beings.
Interesting.
They're asking about the time frame of this whole vision,
Okay.
specifically how long these events will last.
And
The answer they get is 2,300 evenings and mornings,
2,300 evenings and mornings.
after which the sanctuary will be restored.
That sounds like a seriously long time.
It does.
But what does it actually mean?
Yeah.
Is it literal days?
Years? Some scholars take it literally
Okay.
as 2,300 days.
So like a precise prediction?
Yeah, which would place the events within a specific historical time frame.
But others?
Others see it as symbolic,
Okay.
representing a much longer, maybe even indefinite period.
So we're not really sure.
Not entirely.
But I guess that's part of the allure of prophecy.
Exactly.
Trying to decode those hidden meanings.
Right.
Those glimpses into what might be.
And even without a definitive answer,
Okay.
the fact that there is a time frame, that the sanctuary will eventually be restored,
Uh-huh.
suggests that this isn't a story of endless chaos and oppression.
Okay.
There's an endpoint,
Right.
a restoration of balance,
I like it.
a return to right worship and divine order.
That's actually quite reassuring.
Yes.
So what about the little horn itself?
Well,
Does this power that seems to defy everyone and everything ever face any consequences?
the vision says that this king,
Uh-huh.
represented by the little horn,
Right.
will meet his downfall, but not by human hand.
Okay, so not a military defeat.
No.
Not an assassination.
It suggests a power beyond human control will intervene,
Like what?
bringing about the horn's downfall.
Okay.
Perhaps a natural disaster.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps divine intervention.
So something mysterious.
The text leaves it open to interpretation.
Wow, that's powerful imagery.
It is.
It's like a reminder that even the most ambitious,
Yeah.
arrogant rulers
Yes.
are ultimately accountable to a higher power.
Exactly. It adds this layer of cosmic justice to the narrative.
So Daniel's witnessed this wild vision,
Uh-huh.
but I bet he's totally bewildered by it all.
Oh, absolutely.
Did he even understand what he was seeing?
The text says he was seeking to understand,
Okay.
which I think speaks to his character.
Yeah.
He's not just passively receiving this vision,
Right.
he's actively trying to grapple with it.
Makes sense.
And that's when a figure resembling a man appears before him.
Another mysterious figure?
It is.
Is this another angel?
Yes, it's Gabriel,
Gabriel.
who's appeared to Daniel in previous chapters.
Oh, right.
You could say he's Daniel's personal guide through these divine mysteries.
Lucky Daniel.
Uh-huh.
So a voice calls to Gabriel from between the banks of the Ulai Canal,
Uh-huh.
the same canal where Daniel saw the vision.
That's right.
It's like the setting itself is part of the revelation.
It's all connected.
And Daniel, understandably, is terrified by this angelic encounter.
Right.
He falls prostrate before Gabriel.
Who wouldn't be?
I mean, an angel appears and starts talking about the end of times. It's not your everyday experience.
Definitely not.
And Gabriel confirms that the vision does concern the time of the end.
He does.
Now, that phrase has captivated people for millennia.
Absolutely.
It taps into this deep human fascination with knowing what the future holds,
Right.
with understanding our place in this grand cosmic narrative.
It's like we're hardwired to want to peek behind the curtain
Right.
and see what's coming next.
So does Gabriel clear up all the mysteries of the vision?
He provides some crucial pieces of the puzzle.
Okay, look what.
He confirms that the ram represents the kings of Media and Persia.
Uh-huh.
The goat symbolizes the king of Greece,
Okay.
with the large horn representing Alexander the Great.
So our initial interpretation of those symbols was spot on.
You got it.
And he confirms that the 4 horns that replace the large horn
Yes.
represent the 4 kingdoms that arise from Alexander's empire.
Yes, but he adds that they won't have the same power or influence as Alexander himself.
Interesting. So it's not just about the number of kingdoms,
Mm,
but also about their relative strength compared to the original empire.
exactly.
What about the little horn?
Yes.
Does Gabriel reveal who or what that represents?
He describes the little horn as a king of bold face
Okay.
and skilled in intrigue.
So not just a military powerhouse,
No,
but also cunning.
a master of deception.
So this little horn sounds less like a conqueror and more like a puppet master.
Yes, pulling strings behind the scenes.
And his actions reflect this.
They do.
He targets the people of the holy ones.
Right.
And his attacks go beyond the physical.
It's a spiritual assault.
A spiritual assault.
As much as a military one.
So again, we see this dual nature to the little horn's power.
Yes.
Impacting both the physical and spiritual realms.
Ah.
It's like a double whammy of oppression.
But Gabriel assures Daniel that despite this king's arrogance and seeming success,
Okay.
he will ultimately meet his downfall.
And remember, his downfall won't be brought about by human hands. It's a powerful reminder that there are forces at play beyond our control.
Beyond our control.
That even the most cunning and seemingly invincible rulers
Yes.
are subject to a higher power.
It's like a cosmic check and balance system.
So does Gabriel lay out exactly when and how this downfall will happen?
He doesn't go into specifics,
Okay.
but there's one final twist.
What's that?
He tells Daniel to seal up the vision
Really?
because it pertains to a time many days from now.
Hold on. So Daniel gets this incredible vision,
Yeah.
but he's told to basically keep it under wraps.
You could say that.
Why?
It's not about secrecy,
Okay.
but about timing.
Uh-huh.
The vision is meant to be preserved,
Right.
pondered,
Okay.
shared at the appropriate time.
I see.
It's like a time capsule
Yeah.
containing vital information about a future that's yet to unfold.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is
The message for the future.
hidden within this ancient text.
But that leaves us with so many questions.
It does.
Who is this little horn king? What are those 2,300 evenings and mornings?
Good questions.
And how does all this relate to us
Yeah.
living thousands of years after Daniel received this vision?
Those are the questions we'll tackle in part 3.
Ooh, can't wait.
We'll explore the various interpretations of the little horn,
Okay.
delve into the meaning of that mysterious time frame,
Uh-huh.
and most importantly, discuss how this ancient prophecy might resonate with the world we live in today.
We've been on quite the journey through Daniel 8, haven't we?
We have.
The ram, the goat, the mysterious little horn, the cosmic showdown.
A message sealed for the future.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it is.
So where do we even begin to make sense of it all?
Well, I think the biggest question is the identity of this little horn king.
Yeah, who is he?
Right. Gabriel gave us some clues.
Right.
Bold face, skilled in intrigue, persecuting the people of the holy ones.
But who does that actually point to?
Right.
Is it one specific person?
It's a question that has puzzled scholars for centuries. For a long time, the most common interpretation was that it represented Antiochus V, Epiphanes,
Antiochus.
a Seleucid king who ruled in the 2nd century BC.
Okay, remind me, why did Antiochus fit the bill?
Well, he was known for his brutal persecution of the Jewish people.
Okay.
He desecrated the temple in Jerusalem,
Oh, wow.
tried to suppress their religious practices,
Uh-huh.
even outlawed circumcision.
Really? So his actions do seem to line up with the little horn's attacks on the people of the holy ones.
Exactly. And for many people, that was enough to solidify the connection.
Okay.
However, some scholars argue that Antiochus, while a terrible tyrant,
Yeah.
doesn't quite match the cosmic scale of the little horn's rebellion.
I see what you're saying.
Remember, this horn was challenging the heavens, messing with the stars.
Right.
It's a level of arrogance that goes beyond just persecuting one group of people.
That's a good point. It's like comparing a schoolyard bully to someone trying to overthrow the entire government. The scope is totally different.
So if it's not just Antiochus, what are some of the other interpretations?
Yeah, what else could it be?
Some scholars see the little horn as a symbol of a broader historical pattern,
Okay.
a representation of all the powers and individuals who have persecuted God's people throughout history.
So it's less about one specific person
Right.
and more about an archetype.
A recurring villain in the human story.
And then,
And then there are interpretations that link the little horn to a future figure.
Oh, okay.
Someone who will embody the ultimate evil in the time of the end.
Ooh, that's getting into some serious end times prophecy.
It is.
It's like the vision is offering a warning, a glimpse of a coming darkness.
And it also raises questions about our own time.
Like what?
Are there forces at work today that resemble this little horn?
Okay.
Are there leaders or ideologies that seek to suppress faith, manipulate truth, and exert their power in ways that go against divine order?
Those are good questions to think about.
Definitely food for thought.
What about those 2300 evenings and mornings?
Yeah, any more clarity on that?
Right. What does that time frame represent?
Unfortunately, no. It remains one of the most debated aspects of the vision. Some scholars stick with a literal interpretation. 2,300 days.
Okay.
Roughly 6.5 years.
Uh-huh.
They try to match that to specific events in history,
Okay.
like the reign of Antiochus
I see.
or other periods of persecution.
And they're looking for a perfect fit.
Right, like a puzzle piece slotting into place.
But what about the others?
Others argue that those days are symbolic,
Represent
a much longer period, perhaps even spanning centuries.
That makes it much harder to pin down.
It does. It leaves us with more questions than answers.
Maybe that's part of the point.
Maybe.
Maybe the vision isn't meant to give us a precise timeline,
Right.
but rather a broader understanding of the forces at play in history.
The struggles between good and evil.
The promise of eventual restoration.
Yes.
So if we can't definitively crack the code on those 2300 evenings and mornings,
Right.
what can we take away from this vision?
It was given thousands of years ago.
Does it still have anything to say to us today?
Absolutely.
Mm.
Even without all the answers, this vision offers profound insights.
Okay.
The nature of power, the struggle between good and evil, and the ultimate triumph of God's plan.
Can you give me some examples?
Well, look at the little horn's ambition and deception.
Okay.
It's a timeless warning against those who seek power through manipulation and lies.
Uh-huh.
And his attacks on faith,
Right.
they resonate with situations throughout history and even today where belief systems are suppressed or persecuted.
There's also a message of hope woven throughout this vision, right?
There is.
Because honestly, that little horn is pretty terrifying.
He is.
It's easy to get caught up in the darkness and forget that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Remember, the vision tells us the sanctuary will be restored,
Okay.
that evil, despite its temporary victories, will ultimately be defeated.
Yeah.
And the fact that the little horn's downfall isn't by human hands.
Right.
That points to a power beyond our control.
A divine intervention that sets things right.
It's like a reminder that even when things feel hopeless,
Yeah.
there's a bigger picture, a cosmic plan at work.
And that even the most powerful tyrants can't escape the consequences of their actions.
Exactly. So while we may never know exactly who the little horn represents,
Oh.
or precisely when those 2,300 evenings and mornings will end, we can still draw wisdom and inspiration from this ancient vision.
So it's not just about decoding prophecies.
Right.
It's about recognizing the patterns
The principles at play.
and applying those insights to our own lives and the world around us.
It's about being vigilant, discerning, and standing firm in our values,
Yeah.
even in the face of opposition.
That's a powerful message to carry with us.
It is.
It's been a mind-blowing journey through Daniel 8,
It has.
exploring ancient mysteries and grappling with enduring questions,
And it leaves us with a final thought to ponder.
which is,
What little horns do we face in our own time? And what role can we play in upholding truth, justice, and faith in the face of those challenges?
that's something we can all reflect on.
As we navigate the complexities of the world around us,
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
it's been a pleasure.
We hope it's given you plenty to think about.
And maybe even a little bit of hope.
In these uncertain times,
Until next time,
keep exploring
keep questioning.
and keep seeking wisdom.